Hi, I'm Evan Wright from JMW Solicitors, and I'm here to talk about furlough fraud. When the government offers a financial incentive or financial support of any kind, some businesses are quick to search for ways in which to take advantage, but prosecutors are sometimes quick to make allegations, and the Coronavirus Job Retention Scheme, the CJRS or the Furlough Scheme, is no exception. So what is it? Well, the word furlough refers to a temporary leave of absence from work. It was introduced by the government on a temporary basis because of the coronavirus situation, so that employers can keep relevant employees on the payroll even though they aren't working. It's been extended now until the end of October 2020. To be eligible, the employer in a business of more than one employee must have created and started a PAYE payroll scheme on or before the 19th of March. And of course, provided the employee was employed before the 19th of March 2020. Now, the rules are quite complex, but the general proviso is that whilst on furlough, the employee is unable to work for the employer. The reimbursement from HMRC covers wages equal to the lower of 80% of the employee's regular salary, or £2,500 per month, plus the associated employer NI and pension contributions. Now, the JMW blog contains updates on the various aspects of the CJRS, so I won't deal with them in detail here. So what kind of fraud is furlough fraud? The frauds really fall into two main categories. Asking a furloughed employee to return to work as a volunteer without pay, furloughing an employee with or without the employee's knowledge, and they continue to work as normal. There'll also be examples of furloughing staff and not paying them what they're owed under the scheme, or employers making backdated claims that include periods in which the employer was working, or even employers pretending to hire staff shortly prior to the qualifying period to take advantage of the payments, not paying the full amount received from HMRC to the employee. So the current guidance explains very clearly that the revenue will be checking claims, and even if payments are made under the scheme, monies paid out may still need to be repaid if the claim is found to be fraudulent or is based on inaccurate information. The Revenue have launched a portal for the reporting of furlough fraud, and certainly going into May, the Revenue confirmed that it has so far received over 800 reports in relation to that portal. So HMRC will retain the right to audit all aspects of any claim under the scheme, which might mean that the fraud is only uncovered as part of a later inspection. And the expectation is that the Revenue will be auditing claims for furlough payments for maybe years to come. So is furlough fraud a criminal offence? Well, there's no specific offence of furlough fraud. It really amounts to a fraud upon the revenue, or may be framed as a straightforward fraudulent misrepresentation. The likely offences and guideline penalties are as follows. Firstly, conspiracy to defraud. It's a common law offence, maximum 10 years in custody, and the sentencing range could be a low-level community order up to 8 years in custody. Secondly, a Section 1 Fraud Act 2006, that's a statutory offence, maximum 10 years in custody, a sentencing range from, again, a low-level community order to 8 years in custody. Thirdly, probably the most relevant, a cheat upon the public revenue. It's a common law offence, maximum life imprisonment, sentencing range 3 to 17 years in custody. Now, there can be other cheats upon the revenue in relation to specific taxes, false accounting, or straightforward theft. But no matter how it's framed, COVID-19 related offending is likely to be regarded as very serious. Fines are increasing. The transition back to normality could well be littered with enforcement action of variable quality. We've already seen misguided prosecutions. So how will furlough fraud be detected? Well, we've seen quite a few concerns reported by employees, particularly in the service industry. The Revenue is actively encouraging staff to report suspicions, and they've developed protocols to assist in detecting potential frauds when they, for example, undertake PAYE reviews. The government has launched fraud control and emergency management guidance designed to help fraud experts in government bodies and local authorities administering emergency programs on behalf of the UK government. The detection and prosecution of fraud is often fragmented when it crosses between agencies. I mean, each agency has its own priorities and projects. However, the COVID-19 response is likely to be different, and suspects or defendants can expect a higher level of common purpose between the relevant investigators. So what about the self-employed? Well, at the end of March, the government announced similar support for the self-employed, and opportunities for fraud amongst the self-employed are a little different in that they revolve largely around evidence that the business has been adversely affected by coronavirus. Nevertheless, the potential offences and the consequences are just as serious. So how can JMW help? Well, clients are contacting many of our departments about the operation and implications of the scheme. The employment team, of course, the insolvency and corporate restructuring department, the regulatory department, and the criminal defence team. The response by the agencies is all the more impressive when one thinks that these agencies are putting investigations together from laptops and conference calls on their kitchen tables. The revenue in particular is under pressure from the Exchequer to claw back whatever they can to reduce what will be a massive burden on the taxpayer when all of this is over. There will be easy targets, there will be overzealous prosecutions, and distinguishing between the two requires expert input, and JMW is perfectly placed to assist in that respect. I'm Evan Wright, and thank you for watching.